She said, "Seriously? You're jealous of my guy friends?" While texting them all night, I said, "Not anymore." Then I made plans that changed everything. She panicked when she found out what I'd been doing while she was distracted. I, 28 male, need to get this off my chest because what just happened is still processing. Been with Megan, 26, for 3 years, living together for 1. Everything was decent until about 6 months ago when she reconnected with her college friends, specifically 3 guys, Tyler, Josh, and Bryce. At first, whatever. People have friends. I get that. I want to be the cool, understanding boyfriend. But what started as reconnecting quickly morphed into a full-blown obsession. The constant texting wasn't just frequent. It was relentless. It was an endless stream of notifications that became the soundtrack to our life. We'd be watching a movie, a thriller I've been looking forward to all week, and the whole time, her phone would be buzzing on the coffee table, the screen lighting up the darkroom every 30 seconds. Her attention was fractured, one eye on the TV, the other on her screen. We'd be having dinner, a moment I cherished after a long day at work, and she'd be giggling at her screen, completely lost in a conversation I wasn't a part of. I'd ask her what was funny, and she'd just wave her hand dismissively. "Oh, it's just a thing with Tyler. You wouldn't get it." It felt like there was a glass wall between us. I could see her, but I couldn't reach her. The worst was at night. We'd be in bed, the lights out, and the glow of her phone would illuminate her face as she typed away, sometimes until after midnight. I felt like I was sleeping next to a stranger who just happened to share my bed. About 2 months ago, I decided I had to say something. I picked a calm moment, no anger in my voice, and just laid it out. I told her the constant phone use was making me feel disconnected, like I was a low priority. Her response was immediate and defensive. "Seriously? You're jealous of my guy friends? That's so controlling." That word, controlling, it was designed to shut me down, to paint me as the unreasonable one, the possessive weirdo, for simply wanting my own girlfriend's attention during the handful of hours we had together each day. I work in logistics, pulling 50-hour weeks. She works a remote marketing job and makes her own hours. My time is limited. Her time, apparently, belonged to them. After that conversation, it got worse. It was like she had to prove a point, to show me how not controlling she was. Wednesday nights became sacred game nights with the guys. Saturday mornings were for brunch with them. Random Tuesday afternoons were for spontaneous hangouts. She would extend a casual invitation to me, but always with a tone that said, "I have to ask, but please, for the love of God, don't actually come." The breaking point, the moment something in my mind clicked into a new, cold clarity, was 3 weeks ago. My company announced they were opening a new distribution center 2 states away. A huge opportunity came with it. A promotion to operations manager, a 40% pay bump, and a full relocation package. My boss told me I was their top pick. I was ecstatic. I couldn't wait to go home and discuss this massive, life-changing opportunity with Megan. I walked in the door, buzzing with excitement, and found her on the couch, deep in a FaceTime call with Tyler, laughing about some inside joke from their college days. I sat on the other end of the couch, waiting. I gave her a smile, a little wave. She didn't notice. I waited 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes. She never once looked up. And that's when I said it, quietly, mostly to myself. "Not anymore." She finally glanced over, pulling one AirPod out. "What?" "You asked me if I was jealous of your guy friends." I said, my voice even. I said, "Not anymore." She laughed, an actual, genuine laugh. "Good. Growth. See? That wasn't so hard, was it?" "Yeah," I said, a faint smile on my face. "Growth. That's what we'll call it." That night, after she fell asleep while, you guessed it, texting in bed, I went to my laptop and formally accepted the new position. I didn't tell her. Instead, I started making plans. Secret plans. During my days off, I scheduled virtual apartment viewings in the new city. I researched neighborhoods, gyms, grocery stores. I got everything lined up, one piece at a time. Meanwhile, Megan was living her best life, completely oblivious. Tyler needed daily relationship advice for a girl he was seeing. Josh was having constant work drama that required her immediate attention. Bryce was planning a trip to Europe, and she was his dedicated, unpaid research assistant, spending hours looking up hostels and train schedules for him. She was the sun, and they were her planets, and I was just a distant moon, barely in orbit. Our apartment lease was month to month. Last week, I gave my 30-day notice to our landlord. I scheduled movers for the Saturday. I still hadn't told her. The reveal came yesterday. She was scrolling through Instagram and saw a post from my sister, Lauren. It was a picture of me with the caption, "So proud of my big brother on his promotion. Can't wait to visit you in new state." The look on her face was a slow-motion film of confusion turning to panic. "What is Lauren talking about?" "Oh," I said, feigning nonchalance. "I got promoted. I'm moving for work." "Moving?" Her voice cracked. "When were you going to tell me?" "I tried to. 3 weeks ago." I said calmly. "You were busy. This is insane. You can't just decide to move. What about us?" "What about us, Megan? You've made it pretty clear where your priorities are for the last 6 months." "Because I have friends?" she shrieked. "No. Because you have friends who get 90% of your attention, while I get the leftover 10%. And frankly, that's being generous." As I was talking, she grabbed her phone. I swear to God, mid-argument, she started texting someone. That's when every last shred of doubt I had vanished. I knew I had made the right choice. "Are you seriously texting right now?" I asked, a real laugh escaping my lips this time. "I need advice. This is crazy." "From Tyler? Josh? Bryce? I'm sure they understand you." "They do." "Cool," I said, getting up. "Maybe one of them has a couch you can crash on. The apartment lease is in my name. Always has been. I'm breaking it and paying the penalty. You have 30 days to vacate or take over the lease yourself." She's currently at her friend Kayla's house, absolutely blowing up my phone. 73 texts since yesterday. I haven't read a single one. I'm too busy packing. The moving truck gets here in 72 hours. The confrontation I was expecting came yesterday afternoon. I was in the kitchen, meticulously bubble wrapping our dishes, when Megan walked in. She was in full waterworks mode, tears streaming down her face. But she wasn't alone. She brought Tyler with her for emotional support. You cannot make this up. The guy who was the main character in her phone was now a supporting actor in our breakup. She started with the tearful apologies, but Tyler kept interrupting to advocate for her. "Bro, you're totally overreacting," he said, stepping in front of her. "Megan just has a lot of friends. It's not a big deal." "Cool," I said, not looking up from a stack of plates. "Not my problem anymore." "That's cold, man. 3 years and you're just bouncing." "Yep." Megan finally spoke. "Can we please talk about this alone?" Tyler immediately puffed out his chest. "I think I should stay. For safety." I finally stopped what I was doing and looked at him. "Safety? I'm packing dishes, not throwing them." "Tyler, get out of my apartment." "It's Megan's apartment, too." "No, it's not. Never was. The door's that way." He looked at Megan, a shocked expression on his face, as if to say, "Are you going to let him talk to me like that?" She just stood there, wringing her hands, a deer in the headlights. He huffed dramatically and left, but not before saying he'd be waiting in the car if she needed him. Once he was gone, the bargaining began. "I'll change," she pleaded. "I'll set boundaries with them. I didn't realize." "You didn't realize because you were too busy looking at your phone to realize anything else." "That's not fair. You never said it was this serious. I literally tried to talk to you about the promotion 3 weeks ago. How was I supposed to know that was important? Because I'm your boyfriend, trying to have a life-altering conversation with you." The tears dried up, and her tactics shifted to anger. "You know what? You're right. I do prioritize my friends. It's because they're not insecure and controlling like you." "Okay," I said. Her rant paused. "That's it? Just okay?" Yeah. Okay. Good luck with your apartment hunt. The best part? As she was in the middle of her tirade about how I was the problem, her phone buzzed. She instinctively, without a single thought, glanced down at it. I didn't say a word. I just pointed at the phone and raised my eyebrows. The look on her face when she realized what she'd done was priceless. She stormed out. Later, I found out Tyler had been live tweeting the whole ordeal from his car. And this morning, Josh showed up, not to help Megan, but to ask if I was getting rid of my gaming console since I was moving. These are her supportive friends. Everyone. The movers come tomorrow. I cannot wait to be done. Moving day was a circus. I was directing the movers at 7 a.m. when Megan arrived with her entire crew, Tyler, Josh, Bryce, and her friend Kayla. She had rented a U-Haul, apparently planning to move her stuff out at the same time. A fine plan, except she hadn't packed a single box. She immediately started trying to claim half of everything. "That coffee table is mine," she'd say. "I bought that." I'd reply, "I have the receipt." The TV, a gift from my parents. The couch, which I bought before we even met. They even tried to take my Xbox because, and I quote, "Megan uses a Netflix account on it." The movers were absolute professionals, just loading what I pointed to while this group of clowns tried to block their path. Bryce made the fatal error of saying, "Come on, man. She gave you 3 good years. She deserves something." Gave me? I laughed. She gave me 3 years of being a third wheel in my own relationship. But hey, she's all yours now, boys. Have fun with your game nights. As the movers finished, I did a final walkthrough, dropped the keys with the building manager, and climbed into the truck. That's when Megan played her last card, yelling across the parking lot, "Wait! I love you." It was the first time I'd heard those words in 6 months. No, I thought to myself, you love the lifestyle I provided. I gave the driver a nod, and we pulled away. My rear view mirror showed her crying while her 3 musketeers awkwardly tried to comfort her. It felt like freedom. The 8-hour drive was therapeutic. Just quiet. No dings, no buzzes, no competing for attention. My new apartment is incredible. The new job is challenging and rewarding. And I've already met some people, including a woman from accounting named Nicole. We grabbed coffee to talk about being new to the city. We talked for 45 minutes, and she didn't check her phone once. A wild concept. Meanwhile, Megan's social media has been a dumpster fire. Posts about insecure men and how she's thriving with her real support system. Thriving, apparently, means couch surfing at Kayla's, because none of the guys offered her a place to stay. Tyler will comment, "You deserve better, queen," but he won't offer a spare bedroom. The final, perfect ending to the saga happened last week. Megan took a bus to my hometown and showed up at my sister Lauren's house at 9 p.m., looking rough. She launched into a sob story about how her friends were taking advantage of her, how her job cut her hours, and how she realized I was the only one who truly cared. Lauren, my hero, told her, "You made choices. These are the consequences. Please leave." Then yesterday, I got a 5-page essay email to my work email. It was from Megan, an epic of self-realization, blaming her attention distribution issues and her friends' manipulation. She said she was ready to be the girlfriend I deserved and was willing to move to my new state, to start fresh. The audacity was breathtaking. I forwarded it to Nicole. We had a good laugh about it over a glass of wine. Then I sent Megan a 2-line reply. "Please don't contact me again. I wish you the best." Then I had our IT department block her entire email domain. I'm not celebrating her struggles, but I'm not responsible for them either. She chose to be a part-time girlfriend, and now she's dealing with the full-time consequences. I'm with Nicole now. My mom met her last weekend and said, "It's so nice to see you with someone who actually looks at you when you're talking." Even my mom noticed. The life lesson here is simple. When someone shows you the priorities, believe them. When they panic because you're no longer a convenient option, that's not love. That's just an entitled person who lost their free ride.